Abhishek Manu Singhvi is senior lawyer in the Supreme Court. He was also representing the Uddhav Thackeray faction in this particular legal fight. Dr. Singhvi, the Supreme Court has basically said that had Mr. Thackeray not resigned, status quo ante could have been restored. So really, nothing changes, and Mr. Thackeray is to blame because he should have taken the floor test. Even if he lost the floor test, the Supreme Court could have reinstated his government. But because he voluntarily resigned before the floor test, there's nothing the court can do.
The judgment says that the Speaker must decide the pending disqualification petitions, quote unquote, within a reasonable time. Now, let me tell you, if you are the Speaker and you pick up any of those disqualification petitions, Zaka, there is no other decision possible except disqualifying me. Why? Because that action, which is the subject matter of the disqualification petition, is only the action against the whip. That whip has now been validated by this judgment. Today, the judgment says that the whip of the political party is the whip, not the whip of the legislative party. Now, all the disqualifications, or most of them, are the ones where the allegation is that you violated the whip.
Okay.
Now, if you violated the whip, there is nothing the Speaker can do. The only decision he can do is to disqualify you. However, and that's what I said at the press conference today, it is for this reason that I expect and anticipate that you will get now delaying tactics started. You will have the Speaker either deciding not to decide, or delaying the matter, or, of course, since he really cannot decide anything but this, deciding something patently wrong, saying they're not disqualified.
But Mr. Singh, Dr. Singhvi, now in hindsight, and I know hindsight is a wise thing, as they say, but the court is of the opinion that Mr. Thackeray should not have resigned, and had he not resigned, perhaps status quo ante could have been restored. So in hindsight, do you believe Mr. Thackeray was wrongly advised legally to step down before facing the floor test?
Nobody knows who advised him. Nobody knows whether it was legal advised. Nobody knows if it was non-legal advice. But let me tell you that wisdom by hindsight is always 20/20. Yes, in the light of what the Supreme Court has said, the matter, he would have had a different remedial framework had he not resigned. But the point is that today, the Supreme Court has said, the same court has said, you decide the disqualification. Okay, he resigned then. By the way, the basis of what he resigned was in the floor test. And the decision to call the floor test has been held to be illegal.
Yeah.
But let me assume that there was a mistake. Somebody advised, what advice we don't know.
Okay.
But the point is, today, if the Speaker were fair bona fide, if Mr. Shinde's statements were not the ones which are coming today, I'm told that he says it's nothing but a procedural issue, or the Speaker says it's nothing but a procedural issue.
Okay.
But I can only say, Zaka, that we are living in Alice in Wonderland land then. Words mean what they say, what you say they mean. If these 5 substantive findings can be called procedural irregularities, then I think we have to relearn the English lexicon.
No. So while on the one hand you're right that the court has come down heavily both on the actions of the Speaker and on the actions of the Governor, but there is no material impact, because on the one hand it says that the Speaker's decision to appoint a new chief whip was illegal, but it's not restoring the old whip of the party. It's also saying the Governor's decision to call for a floor test was bona fide wrong, but it's also affirming the Governor's decision to invite Mr. Shinde for the oath of office. So, net, the material aspect has not gone in Mr. Thackeray's favor. Maybe the moral aspect has, but the material aspect is not.
No. Please, you're mixing up. Every decision of high personages, high post holders like Governor, Speaker, and others has been declared, I repeat, declared by 5 judges to be illegal, which means it doesn't exist in law. However, what you are saying is breaking of the same point, that because he resigned, there was nothing the Governor could restore. Now, if he has resigned, they cannot direct the Governor to restore a person who has resigned voluntarily. That does not mean that there is any caveat in the holding that the Governor is wrong, that the Speaker is wrong, that the appointment of the whip is wrong. that the whip of the other chap, Gogavle, cannot be of any legal standing? There's no caveat in that. It's unconditional. Yes, obviously, otherwise Thackeray would have been restored back.
Correct.
So therefore, the point of the matter is that in every which way you have been exposed. If you had any shame, which we are sure you will not do, you would have, gone. But today, we have no hope also of the Speaker deciding fairly. I think we have to go to court again. It's as simple as that.
All right, Dr. Singh, we'll leave it at that. Let's see how this plays out. You have said that you will be going to court again because you don't expect the Speaker to decide in your favor.